Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
From Todd Pinckney says, did you get new goalie gear, Rod? Not this time. I just bought a bunch last year.
I've been probably meaning to, you got to get a cup.
I got a cup.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Because I just remember the story in the winter of you playing on the pond with no cup, a hard puck, and all former pro players.
Yes. I survived.
For now.
I've been hit harder in softer places, as they say. I don't feel pain. I'm not proud of it. My doctor's like, you are inhuman. I said, no, I don't think the nerves go all the way to the end of my... I don't feel pain. It's been a big problem in my life. Ha! Roger Yee, watching in Calgary, says, I better start the car and head to Under Armour. Thanks, Rod. Free of charge, Under Armour. You're welcome.
Great sale.
Game Plus Network just put a water drop on their watch. Is that you, Sean? What does he mean by that?
It's a single tier.
Because why?
I would assume that's a single tier after being hit harder in softer places. That's my guess.
I don't feel pain. Listen. Well, I said my older brother's watching. Him and my other older brother, they would sit. There was a guy on the Milestone Flyers senior team by the name of Scott Ray. He had hands the size of Cinder Creek blocks. And he would stand there and punch me in the face. And my brother's like, hit him again, when I was like a teenager. He didn't go down. I was a circus freak to that senior hockey team as a teenage boy.
Yeah.
Hit him again. Watch, he can take it. And I did. I'm not proud of it.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
you all didn't know the old me. That for 40 years, Darren, I was a kamikaze. The fact that I'm alive is a miracle.
How about that?
I've ridden steers, jumped off cliffs, been shot and been shot at, and I survived it all.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, Canada. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show. Darren DuPont's with us. How are you, Moose?
I'm good. But a lot of sorts here.
Oh, I noticed.
Did you?
Trust me, I noticed. I've been trying to rein you in here, and it's not been that easy. How come you're out of sorts
Is
today?
it ever?
More's easier than today,
Okay.
mostly, yes.
All right.
It is episode number 571 of Canada's daytime sports talk show, and I say hey to all of the Canadian sports fans tuning in from around the globe, particularly our U.S. viewers. Hey, we're coming to you from the bunker here out in beautiful Western Canada, where it's still a beautiful, it's a summer day. I'm loving it. Justin Dunk coming up from 3 down, and I have no idea who's in hour 2. How about that? I just looked over at the guest board, and
There's no guest.
it's gone.
How about that?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we're all a little out of sorts around here today. So buckle up and get ready to have some fun. Justin Dunk, and we'll see in hour 2. I do have to say this, though. It's always nice when we show up and there are gifts in the bunker. So this is from our hour 2 sponsor, Core Grain. And they're all across Western Canada. I've noticed their buildings and their plants. So thank you. One of these is for you, Moose. Did they get the right size?
I hope so.
Did you? What's it say? Where you put yours away?
It's just on the table there.
Excel here, and you know the way to my heart is to send me a golf shirt, particularly if you're a junior hockey team. Can we hit the quick 6 show topics, please, guys? If you don't mind. What flavor of coffee do you have on today for Caliber Coffee?
Brazilian Seven Falls.
Ooh, didn't it just sound
It does
amazing?
sound good.
Tastes as good as it sounds.
Yeah.
Brazilian Seven Falls from Caliber Coffee, our morning coffee sponsor. Number 1, and for all those new viewers, because we have several new ones, these are of importance to me. And number 1, it's the Blue Jays losing to the Tampa Bay Rays Tuesday night. And I was talking to my brother yesterday. He's like, what are you going to do tonight? I said, I don't know, nothing. Go home and watch the Blue Jays. It wasn't as much fun as we've gotten used to. The Tampa Bay Rays took the Blue Jays behind the behind the shed and pulled their pants down. Game of spanking. 2-0 Tampa Bay last night, and the Jays have only been shut out 3 times all year. That's the lowest in Major League Baseball. But the Rays, Mike Zunino said after the game, that was a playoff game out there today. Yep. Every at-bat, you just felt the energy, and that's what you want. And the Rays just said, we're getting serious now. Hey, Blue Jays, it's been fun, but this is big boy baseball. And they spanked him. So it's a day game today to wrap up the series, 3:07 Eastern. And I'm interested to see who wins the rubber match. Maybe today, Moose, will be the game where we find out who the real Blue Jays are.
You said playoff game. Those are games, and the Rays showed that, hey, 2-0 game, 2-1 game, 3-0. We can win those games. Toronto, can you win those games? I saw Bo Bichette at the dish, back-to-back at-bats in the middle of the ball game, and he struck out on 3 pitches in each at-bat. And not close on the third one. Big breaking ball to the outside. You know, Vladdy with 2 on and none out, thinking this is going to be it, right? Teoscar Hernandez, who's gotten to plate or made a hit in like 12 of his previous 13 at-bats, couldn't get it done with runners on, right? They did a lot of good things, but could not get the bats going when they needed it. And in the playoffs, you need timely hitting. Getting when you're up 5-0, making it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-0, it's easy. The other team's kind of checked out a little bit. But when you're down 2-0, can you get runners on and get runners in? The Jays need to prove that.
Well, I don't know. Last night, Dan Shulman and Tabby were kind of tempering expectations, but there's a lot of games left here, which there are. It's 17 left if my math is right. It's not always. So it's almost like they were sandbagging if the Blue Jays don't make the playoffs. And I'm like, no. We've seen the good side. We've seen how good they can be. Let's not let them off the hook.
We're excited now.
Yeah, you're right.
These playoffs are bust now.
Well, and like I say, the Tampa Bay Rays proved last night that the playoffs have started. So hopefully the Jays got the message. Oh, here's Sask Health calling me now.
Do you want me to take this for a bit?
Hello.
Hello, good morning, e-health. Myself connected. I am speaking. Hello there.
Hello there. So I'm on television right now. Can I call you back?
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, you can call us back, or you can leave your number to call back us.
Okay, that would be perfect. I'll do that. Do you have my phone number?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have my number, right?
No, we just leave. You have to call back us, and then
okay.
Or just put it, the callback number, so that we can call you back. Okay.
That's what I'll do. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.
You too. You see, he never left his name. He never said his name at the start. Do you want to know my life? I'm headed to the United States this weekend, and I'm trying to get this health document.
You need the health document so you can go. Yeah.
Right.
Prove your vaccination status.
It hasn't been easy. Callback numbers, this, that. So I left my callback number. I'm on the air.
Well, and that's why I said you got to. If you want to take that and let me, because it's an important. Like that wait line is probably a couple hours deep. The phone call.
Right.
And so when they call you back,
I've been waiting 2 hours.
Like I'm worried they might not call you back again. So that's why
you are.
That's why I'm like every time they call, you better take it.
How would you like to be me? And all I need is the pin. They don't make it particularly easy. Anyways, moving on. What a day. What a day. Yeah, Roxanne, one of our sponsors, Roxanne from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, says, I am literally in the middle of the same thing for my whole family. It's trying. I got a football guy in the States. He called me last night, and we were talking about Chris Jones. And I said, hey, they told me that I need this document, health document, to get into the States. He's like, no, you don't. All you need is a negative test, proof of a negative COVID test. You don't even need to be vaccinated, bro. I'm like, well, these guys are saying exactly the opposite. Welcome to a year and how many months into this thing? Let's get back on track. What do you say?
Good idea.
Are you bored?
How could I be bored?
Point 2. Canada's Game of the Week. We normally do these polls on Tuesday, but it's now Wednesday. We're doing it today. Let's call it up. In the Canadian Football League, which is Canada's Game of the Week? If you can believe, leading the way, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the Edmonton Elks. on Saturday night. It's the final game of the week. Winnipeg at Edmonton is leading Canada's game of the week. Facebook and Twitter. Does that surprise you?
Extremely. And 3 months ago, it would have been Calgary and Hamilton before the season started, right? Potential Grey Cup preview, the two top teams in the power rankings, all of that. And the storylines, Toronto, Saskatchewan, that surprises me too. Charleston Hughes coming back, Chris Jones making his return to the CFL against Saskatchewan. Riders are struggling, but Winnipeg, Edmonton shows you where our viewers are coming from.
Canada's game of the week, as it sits right now, is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the Edmonton Elks on Saturday afternoon. And I will be on Winnipeg Radio, Jets at noon today with Cam Poitras, where I will declare the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the marquee franchise in the Canadian Football League as we sit here today. That's a fact. Jack, moving on to point 3. NFL Week 2 notes. I couldn't believe this morning I was listening to NFL radio driving in, and they're all on tomorrow night's game already, Washington and the Giants. And I was like, well, that was quick. Moving on from Week 1, then I realized, well, it is Wednesday already. We're flying through the week, right?
Yeah.
It's going fast. So Washington, New York Giants opens up Thursday. And let me just say this. The NFL now owns Thursday night, obviously Sunday, plus Monday. They don't play Friday or Saturday. Wonderful night for CFL doubleheaders this Friday, and they really got it right, the CFL. There's 2 games this Friday. And then Saturday for college football in the United States. But the way they've got it, doubleheaders in the CFL Friday, Saturday, I really like. This particular weekend is exactly what you want. NFL Thursday, CFL Friday, Saturday, college Saturday, NFL Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always stay that way.
No, but it's pretty perfect now, right through. So I like it. CFL's got to stay in that sweet spot. I mean, I grew up on Friday Night Football, and I think the CFL can find a really nice window if they own that day. I like it. I think Friday night's perfect for them.
So that's the thing. Week 2 begins with the Washington Giants game, and then I'm going to move on. I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers stuff. You can see that anywhere. I see that my golf ball bucket is sticking out. My high-end laptop stand.
It's exposed, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try and hide that a little bit. I'm not sure if I can. You don't mind, do you? As my dad used to say, it's not good for pretty, but it's good for strong. And he would use that accent.
I can see it.
Even though he didn't have an accent. Point 4, hockey notes. And I have in brackets junior hockey because they're in the throes. It is a dog's breakfast junior hockey. Like the Moose Jaw Warriors have their black and white game Sunday. I guess they played a preseason game last night. The Pats, God's team, had theirs way last week. They've already played 2 games against the Winnipeg Ice. I don't know. Notre Dame Hounds just opened up their training camp, I think, last night. Estevan's been going since August. Like, what the hell?
I know.
I'm trying to stay on top of it.
It's a little all over the place. Everybody's kind of playing by their own rules a little bit in terms of when you start, when you don't. But they're getting going. Like, this is happening really quickly. Usually it's end of September. You know, they dropped a puck on the season. I think now it's first week of October in the dub. Man, it's coming quick.
And it's all good, but it's kind of hard to stay on top of. And by the way, Drew Koser's writing in, yours and my good friend, the Brent Sutter of the Prairie Junior Hockey League. Morning, boys. He says his team's been going since June. It's his birthday today, by the way.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Happy birthday, Drew.
Bob's your uncle. Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
By the way, I saw Connor McDavid came out yesterday and said, I don't know specifically what the quotes were, but it was along the lines of, the time is here, it's now or never. And Oilers are my second favorite team, although the Florida Panthers have shot up to number 3, and they might be number 2 before long, maybe within a week or so. But anyways, the Oilers are still my second team. But when I saw Connor sitting there at the podium, it's like hit, rewind, broken record. Connor McDavid saying this. Now's the time. It's now or never. I don't know, man. It feels to me like he's been saying it for a real long time. And nothing against Connor McDavid. He is obviously as good as advertised, 100-plus points in 56 games. I get all of that. But it's just like the Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott and Gallup and those guys talking. I don't want to hear it. Go out and prove it. Where are you on that? I guess it's nice that they're doing media availabilities, but I don't care what they have to say. Is that just me?
Partly, yeah. 6 of one, half a dozen. A little column A, little column B. I don't know which way you want to describe it, but you have to do that. You have to do media interviews. You have to, get the public invested. You have to, we want to read into everything. So every word that comes out of your mouth either makes me more confident in you, makes me more confident in the team, makes me understand where your head is at, and it leads me into what I think is going to happen on Sunday. We all want to find reasons why we think our team's not as bad as it is, and we all want to find reasons to, why our team's better than we are. So if they say something that gets you excited and thinks that the Cowboys are going to win, then that's good for ticket sales, it's good for merchandise sales, it's good for the whole organization.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I said it last night on the Rough Riders television show that I do province-wide. I've been doing it since 1995. And I said last night, I don't believe anything I hear ever out of the mouths of players, coaches, and presidents, GMs. I just don't believe anything. So, like, when I see these post-game newsers or the stuff like McDavid yesterday, I don't care. I just want to watch the games, and I'll make my judgment from there. Fair. So whether it was you got suspended for failing to provide a urine sample for a PED test, you said you couldn't go, I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a nice guy. I don't believe that. I don't believe what Andrew Harris said. I don't believe what many people say when they stand in front of a microphone. I'm sorry, after 34 years in this business, and yes, I am that old. So
they used to let it rip.
Yeah, now they don't anymore.
They don't, and now it's just making sure you say the right things. And you get prepped for every interview. So we're working hard, doing the right things. All that speak doesn't really mean much. Doesn't tell me anything about you or how you're actually feeling. When a player does go off script a little bit, I'm into that. When they get real, but most of it is just athlete speak or sports speak.
Right. My cousin Christine's watching Medicine Hat. She says, all talk and no show. Yeah, something like that. There's a lot of people like that. And Connor, I love Connor McDavid. I love watching him play. I don't need to see that. I guess the fans do for what you say, marketing purposes and everything. But let's just drop the puck. And Tacona Powley watching in Winnipeg says, I hear you, Rod. Move on, Connor. And go Panthers. I agree. I'm telling you, man, Florida Panthers, that's where it's at. Some quick points here before we roll. And by the way, this is the warm-up for E-Cold Electric. Moose, TV ratings bonanza. It was in the column that is on rodpedersen.com right now, written by Jim Lang. The NFL season opener on Thursday was the most watched since 2015. And if I do the math, the Labor Day Classic in the CFL was the most watched in 6 years, which I think would be 2015. What was going on in 2015? Nothing. That everybody was watching so much television?
Yeah, nothing.
Was there a pandemic then? What was going on? Point being, people are sitting home and watching television like never before, and these ratings is an absolute bonanza in both the NFL and CFL, and I think the NHL would probably follow suit. I just want to point that out, and that's why it's a blank check written to the NFL by the TV networks and maybe the CFL too. What do you think it is, why the ratings are so high? We're watching. We're part of it.
Yeah. No, there's something's drawing us to it, and I mean, people think, well, there's been nothing going on during the pandemic. Well, the NFL was around last year. Right? The NFL was around, and the ratings are even moving up even higher. They're putting in front of more people. I don't know. I really don't know because the CFL hasn't played. So you can look at maybe people missed the CFL. But must not be a whole lot else going on in people's lives if they're maybe the fourth wave is taking over and people aren't working.
9.9 million watched the women's tennis final for the U.S. Open and record ratings for the NFL and CFL. It's all good for the leagues. I'm just wondering what's changed. And point 6 here in the warm-up, which is brought to you by E-Cold Electric. Come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center. E-Cold Electric, let's get to work, is Chris Jones good for the CFL? But I'm just going to roll that over into our next segment because Justin Dunk will join us from 3downnation.com, and that would be a good place to start with him. So we're rolling. This has been the warm-up. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone! We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm checking the... I got so much going on here today. 2 phones. I'm one of those guys. And JR in Toronto's watching on Game Plus TV, and he says, hey, Rod, how about the Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich buying 10,000 tickets to give away to fans? Will he get a karma bump? Absolutely he'll get a karma bump out of that. And the Brewers are leading the division. Brewers are rolling. The NL Central. And Christian Yelich has always done those kinds of great community things. Can't hurt. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And Alex from Game Plus. Hey, Alex. He has texted, hey, Rod, it's Alex from the Game Plus control room. What's your biggest surprise coming out of week 1 of the NFL? I said Aaron Rodgers' implosion. I wrote him back and said that. He says the Eagles' big win. So we'll come around to that. And I also got to say, listen, I'm going to put it out of the bag. I'm going to Florida Friday.
How about that?
There you go. I'm going to the Dolphins and the Bills Sunday. I'm going to the Florida Panthers, Nashville Predators the week after preseason games. These American teams are so aggressive. I got this text this morning. Hi, Rod. This is Courtney Campbell, manager with the Dolphins. I just wanted to introduce myself, welcome you all to Miami, and come meet you in your seats on Sunday. Do you get that in Canada from anybody? Honestly. No, you don't. They're just so aggressive. They're so welcome. They want the business. They get off their ass. And that's the Dolphins. Florida Panthers, I'm telling you, they're moving on up like George and Wheezy. And it's Joel Quenneville's birthday today, too.
Happy birthday, Coach. I know, right?
Everything's coming together.
All I want is a quarter zip or a hoodie. One of the two.
From
with
which?
That Florida Panthers logo on it.
Okay. Navy or red?
Ooh, Navy.
Okay. Let's bring him in now. The Adam Schefter of the CFL. Whoa! Look at this. Outside looking good. Unshaven. What's up, Justin?
Boys, I thought it was so nice out here, man. I got to make outside my office today.
I love it. 3downnation.com's owner, proprietor, and preeminent CFL Insider Justin Dunk joining us here. I thought that maybe you were on holidays, but we're like mid-season in the CFL. There's no way that you'd be taking time off now, GD. You had a year and a half.
Yeah, that's right, Roddy. Had to get revved up for it. Can't take time off now while the season's going, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, lots to get to, lots to unpack. Chris Jones, the former Cleveland Browns defensive assistant, coming back to the Canadian Football League to the Toronto Argonauts. The four-time Grey Cup champion, the Bill Belichick, if you will, to the CFL. I still feel that way. You heard the question I asked earlier, I think, and that is Chris Jones good for the CFL? Yes or no?
Overall, certainly. Yeah, he does. He drives interest. Like, it shows on your show when you talk about him, Roddy, and you guys put out your clips on social media. It shows for us in terms of our website traffic overall. He's a controversial figure. Let's just say it flat out. There's a lot of people out there in Saskatchewan that don't like the way that he left. And then there's the people that know from the football side that he instantly makes your football team better. You can't doubt that. So to me, overall, it is a net positive to have Jones in the CFL.
So I agree. And I think anybody that knows football agrees. The football people, I think so. But the people that hate Chris Jones really hate him. The people that love him really love him. But he won't be coaching this Friday with the Argos at Saskatchewan, from what I understand. What can you tell us about COVID protocols in the CFL, him coming from South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, to Toronto?
That's right, Roddy. So he's going to have to go through sort of a similar process to what the players did when they came up for training camp, because he's not right now, obviously, part of the Tier 1 personnel in the CFL, and more specifically for the Argos. So he'll have to go through a mini quarantine period, let's call it. There'll be a couple COVID tests in there that he'll have to pass before he can get into that Tier 1 grouping with the Argos. And after that, Roddy, to be quite honest, I know some people have said that he's joining the staff, but Chris Jones is not resigning from his former high school to come up here and be an assistant or be a consultant. I fully expect him to be the defensive coordinator and calling the shots on D.
Okay, so let's just go back on that for a second. So this is past, is this for just 2021 or is it beyond? What do you know about the deal that he's coming to Canada and agreed to with the Argos?
That'll be the key, honestly, to get more details on that. From what I've heard, it's just for right now, they're focused on the rest of the year. And as you know well, Roddy, Jones is an opportunist. So he's going to come up here, get his name back in the rumor mill. And if I'm Jones, I don't want to be locked down further than just this season, to be quite honest, because it clearly shows that people are still intrigued by him. His name is now hot again, I would say, because we know he's going to do a great job with that defense there, especially with the talent they have in double blue. So I would imagine he's going to want to keep his options open, because you never know what vacancies can come available in terms of head coaches.
And there are few with better resumes than Chris Jones. Just sprinkling in some comments here from the general in Calgary. Says he's a locker room distraction. He's the coach, so I don't think he would be. From James in Borden, Manitoba, he says, 3 down is the best. I go there before TSN. From Larry in Medicine Hat, the CFL needs characters like Chris Jones. From Monty in Saskatoon, he says, Saskatchewan versus Toronto. He believes that's Canada's game of the week. And from Jeffrey Townend in Calgary, he says, that is a bummer. I wanted to see Rider fans' reaction to seeing Jones on the field. Oh, I did too. Oh, I was very disappointed to learn that he wasn't going to be on the sidelines for Friday night's game. But we were just saying near the tail end of the last segment that NFL ratings for the kickoff game between the Bucs and the Cowboys, highest since 2015 for a season opener. And the CFL ratings, as has been reported by your website, are up the highest in 6 years for the Labor Day Classic. What do you think the reasons are for the ratings bonanza in pro football?
That's a great question, Roddy. I would say overall, especially for the NFL, they're just such a juggernaut that year over year you see it in Canada with the ratings on largely TSN. And yes, those games are available on CTV as well, which certainly helps. That the trend for the NFL, that it's been going up and up and up. Now, I will say as a caveat to swing that back, the Labor Day Classic, as you mentioned, with the Bombers and Riders, netted almost 1 million television viewers. To put that in perspective, the Maple Leafs are sort of the gold standard of television ratings up here. You can put on a Leafs game, whether they're terrible or good. And obviously, they haven't won the Cup since 1967, so it hasn't happened in a while when they've actually been a championship team. But you're going to get 1 million television viewers, and usually more, especially when it's hockey night in Canada on Saturday. So the fact that Labor Day Classic number was so high and was the highest regular season game for TSN since 2015, and net positive. But then you look at the Banjo Bowl, the rematch, it seemed like there might have been even more eyeballs, but yet that ratings overall dropped by over 400,000. Part of it was due to Leylah Fernandez being in the women's U.S. Open final. And I think another part of it was the Blue Jays being in this wild card race, and that certainly shows in the number. Game 2 of that doubleheader on Saturday almost had 1 million viewers on its own, Roddy, for Toronto when they whipped Baltimore, coming off the game where they came back 11-10 and George Springer was the hero. So there's more competition now. Week 1 of the NFL was up over 500,000 viewers compared to what was last week? Week 6 in the CFL was the first week that it was below 500,000 this season. So now the competition's coming. We're getting a little better look at what that viewership might look like in a crowded space.
Yeah, and don't forget, Saturday, we can attest to Canadian Brewhouse in Calgary. We had to ask to get the Banjo Bowl put on. They had Alabama Mercer as the featured game on their big screen. So, yeah, there was more competition. It was a Saturday afternoon. By the way, hour 1 of the Rod Pedersen Show is brought to you by Explore Edmonton and HSBC World Rugby 7 Series. The ultimate all-day party taking place in Edmonton, September 25th and 26th. 2 8-hour days featuring teams from across the globe in action-packed Rugby Sevens matchups. The party continues in the stands with incredible costumes and unforgettable memories. Trust us, you've never seen a party like this. Purchase your tickets today at CanadaSevens.com. Now, the latest article that went up on 3downnation.com is the Rough Riders firing volleys back at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for the brawl for it all near the end of the second quarter in the Banjo Bowl. Can you tell our viewers about that? Neither team's really over what went down with the calls. 2 Saskatchewan players being kicked out. None for Winnipeg that really, I felt, kind of set the tone for the game or changed the complexion of the game.
Yeah, it certainly did overall. And the few of the Rough Riders, and Craig Dickinson has been vocal about this. He's talked with the league. He's hoping that there's going to be supplemental discipline coming on the Bombers side. Now, I could see the CFL levying some fines, specifically at Andrew Harris for what he did. To me, that's a finable offense. And, I don't want to take pocket money out of his pocket, but that's just being honest. So maybe there'll be some more that are slanted toward Winnipeg. But to your point, Roddy, that doesn't impact the game. That doesn't impact the win-loss column, which is ultimately where players' jobs are decided and coaches as well and personnel. So to me, I think the Riders have a legitimate complaint here that 2 of our guys were kicked out and upgraded in terms of the yardage on those penalties, and Andrew Harris was not. So even though by the letter of the law, I would have liked to see the command center come in and at least take a longer look at it. I know some people might throw up their arms and say, we don't want review and we don't want it to make the game go longer. But to me, that was a perfect example. Go back and look at it to make sure you get the call right, because that call could determine who gets first place in the West and ultimately host the West Final.
I agree. It's a big deal. But my take on the back-to-back is in Labor Day, the Bombers punched the Riders in the mouth, and in the ensuing Banjo Bowl, they picked him up and threw him out of the cage. Like, that was domination, man. What did you see out of that back-to-back?
The Labor Day Classic was domination, but the first half of that Banjo Bowl, the Riders were in the game. And I think you already made this point on your site, Roddy, or maybe even on Twitter, that if these penalties swing a different way or if the melee doesn't happen, it could be a totally different situation. And there was also another missed call that some people are talking about that could have set the Riders up for a potential touchdown near the end of that half as well, that could have made the ball game close or even given the Riders the lead going into halftime. We got to remember, it was 12-9 at halftime at IG Field for the Bombers. So it was a close ball game. So I don't think they threw them out the cage, like you said, until the second half.
C. Walker watching on YouTube says what changed the game was Cody Fajardo being knocked out. We don't have a status update per se on Fajardo. He practiced a bit, I guess, with Saskatchewan on Tuesday, but not good news for the Riders if this guy's hurt.
It's not, certainly. Ideally, you'd rather have Cody Fajardo in there. He was limited in practice. The Riders are confident and hopeful, which to me are two words that sort of counteract each other, but they're really hoping that Fajardo can play on Friday against the Toronto Argos and certainly have a better shot. No disrespect to Isaac Harker, but with Fajardo in there to win that ball game. And overall, you just hope Fajardo is healthy because he's such a rising star in the league.
On YouTube, a viewer goes by the handle Austin, Texas of the North. I'm guessing it's somebody from Austin living in Canada. I'm not sure. But he says, howdy, partner. It feels like the CFL is hiding the protocols related to COVID. It doesn't seem clear to me. Thoughts? Well, you've posted them, Justin. I've seen them. I've had them sent to me. I don't think the CFL is hiding anything. How do you feel about that comment?
I don't think the CFL is hiding anything, but if he would have said, is the CFL enforcing them to the letter of the rules, then I would say that he certainly has a complaint. I'll give you an example. Roddy, and I won't name the player, but last week I was told that when some of the teams were coming off the field, I won't even say the game, but that there were individual players that had, let's call them handlers with them, and there were certain players that were not allowed to do handshakes with other players. So that to me makes me wonder, well, if a player's not allowed to do a handshake with another player, how are they allowed to step between the white lines and potentially face them face-to-face on the football field and tackle and go up for a ball and all the things that happen within a football game, but you can't shake his hand after the game? That to me doesn't make any sense. So what I'm getting at here is I think there's more going on behind the scenes, and I just wish with the CFL, like so many other things, that it was consistent. Enforce the rules that you've laid out instead of making it up as you go along.
Oh, couldn't agree more. And the Argos are coming to town today. And some of them wrote me last night. They're like, we're coming to town tomorrow. Let's get together. I'm like, can you? And they're like, yeah, we are. We're good.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't know. I'm not in the league. If you say that we can get together, then sure, let's get together. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, lastly, Chase Claypool is making highlights already through week one for the Pittsburgh Steelers. How much you follow in the pursuit, the career this season 2 of Chase Claypool?
Certainly all over it. And with what he's done, he worked with TJ Houshmandzadeh again in the offseason. And he really wanted to work on sort of his craft as a receiver. And you can see that in week one. He goes up and makes that dynamic catch that not too many receivers in the league can make. Now, I just want to see him get more targets. In that offense, it's understandable. You have Deontay Johnson, you got Chase Claypool, you got Juju Smith-Schuster, you have Najee Harris, who's really nice out of the backfield. But I think Chase Claypool's an absolute superstar if they just feed him some more targets.
Yeah, absolutely. The Coquitlam BC product. I'm just looking up his stats from last year. What did he end up with touchdowns last? Was it 11? It was
11 total, 9 receiving.
Right. Yeah. And that was a rookie record for the Pittsburgh Steelers, so we're watching it very closely. Justin, thanks for this wonderful update, my man. Enjoy the beautiful outdoors, and we'll catch up soon. Keep up the great work at 3 Down.
Sounds good, fellas. You two over there as well. Keep it cooking. Keep it hot.
You bet, buddy. The CFL's #1 insider right there. You're looking at him, Justin Dunk from 3downnation.com. We'll be right back with a sports update. Maybe we'll turn it over to you, the viewers. Today has just been a lot of fun, Moose. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this. But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grade. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grade Systems a call today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone. We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Welcome back. I'm just updating the sports update, and I'll get to that in a moment. Just want to tell you to please, we got 19 minutes left in hour one, brought to you by Explore Edmonton and the Rugby World Sevens. Send us a note if you're watching on TV. 306-840-8777 is the number to text. Oh, the sponsor thing's coming up on the screen. Too many to mention. That's a good thing, right, Moose?
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
So, from Lindsay Lynn Yankee on Facebook. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Lindsay Lynn. Thanks for checking in. You said you were going to give me that soundboard. Ding. I could do it like a doorbell ringing or like a chimes of a coffee shop. What's happening?
Working on it.
You got so much stuff going on.
I know.
My favorite 4 words in broadcasting. We're working on it. I hear it a lot. Wayne in Victoria, BC watching. He says, if you've watched the NFL, then it looks like they are over COVID and moving on to normalcy. Right. This morning, 6 unidentified members of the New Orleans Saints coaching staff, a player and a nutritionist, have tested positive for COVID-19. 2 people familiar with the situation said Tuesday morning. Source said the entire Saints coaching staff had been vaccinated. Later Tuesday, Michael Thomas, who was ineligible to play the first 6 games while on the club's physically unable to perform list, was placed on the Saints' COVID-19 reserve list. The names of most others who tested positive were not expected to be released in the short term because of federal medical privacy laws. And frankly, the only reason I bring this up is that we are in Canada, and the only thing going on right now is the Blue Jays and the CFL, so everybody's dumping on the CFL. And I want you to know that every league's going through this. Moose, what's your take on all of this? Anything?
No, really. Everybody's going through it. So you can only handle them one situation at a time, right? There's no manual for this. Unfortunately, we want to put out blanket rules and hope that we can adhere to them, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the leagues and the teams are trying to make the best outcome from every situation. And we want to, look at the Canadian Football League and COVID and the 85% rule, and we want to, cancel the game and you're not paid because you're not 85% vaccinated. But in that situation, when the Elks have the outbreak, we still want to be able to do whatever we can to make it the best possible outcome. Not, well, those are the rules, you can't go, Like I'm, looking at flights to go do games on the road.
Yeah.
Well, the flights aren't always available like they were before, and you might not be able to get to the game, so because there's no flights and we always fly, you might not be able to go. Well, no, I'll get in a car and drive, right? Like, let's look for some alternative ways to make things better. They're just going to make the best of the situation that they can.
I was talking to another football guy in Vegas yesterday who said every one of those 85,000 fans or whatever it was at Allegiant Stadium on Monday Night Football, they all had to upload their COVID status. I believe this is right. Not necessarily vaccination status, but COVID status into an app to get into the game for the Vegas Raiders. All of them.
And they all did it.
And I've had 3 calls now from the Miami Dolphins about Sunday's game against the Buffalo Bills. I'm just like, where do you guys have the time? How big is your staff? But they care.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind how much they're taking care of this in the National Football League. I just can't wait to get down there. Jeff in the Zone's watching on YouTube, and he says, good morning, Darren and Rod. What's you guys' game prediction for the Rays and Jays today? Well, here's a preview. Toronto lefty Robbie Ray scheduled to start against Tampa Bay righty Michael Wacha at Rogers Centre. Toronto's all even with the Yankees and Red Sox in the battle for the AL wildcard spots after last night's 2-0 loss to Tampa. If you're asking me if it comes down to pitching, particularly in this game, and Robbie Ray's contract is up, and he's a Cy Young contender, I got to go with the Blue Jays in a low-scoring game. I believe they're going to lock it down. They are favored, by the way. I just checked the line with our official betting partner, BetRegal.net. And it is a 3:07 first pitch at Rogers Centre. Moose, what do you think today?
Jays.
Okay.
Jays win.
Dodgers lefty Julio Urias tries to become the Major League's first 18-game winner when Los Angeles hosts the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Urias has won 4 straight starts and is 8-0 with a 1.79 ERA in 13 starts since a June 21st loss at San Diego. Pirates players and coaches will wear number 21 to mark Roberto Clemente Day, celebrated by Major League Baseball on the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. Players from Puerto Rico, annual Clemente Award winners, and this year's Clemente Award nominees also have the option to wear the number of the Hall of Famer who died in a plane crash on a humanitarian mission in 1972. We were talking about how bad the Pirates were for the last 30 years, but again, in the 70s, they were a juggernaut, and he was the reason. CF Montreal is at Orlando City tonight in one of 8 MLS games on the schedule. Montreal had its 7-game home unbeaten streak snapped in its last game Sunday with a 1-0 loss to Nashville SC. Do you think if I took in an MLS soccer game live that it might hook me just like auto racing did and NLL did? Do you think?
No. Yes and no. I think it might start to hook you. You might enjoy it a little bit. You might think it's fun. Only one way to find out.
Go.
Go.
Exactly. Well, it's like the NBA. I grew up on a farm 30 miles south of here where you wouldn't see a person for 3 days.
Let alone a basketball
game. The only beings you had to talk to were cattle.
And there's no basketball on TV.
Oh, my God. NBA? What?
Right.
But I went to a neutral site game between the Hawks and the Timberwolves. I'm like, I love this. So I'm saying this could happen with MLS.
Yeah.
But a lot more action in hoops than soccer.
That's right. That's right.
So there's that. NASCAR will open the 2022 season inside Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in one of the biggest shakeups to its schedule in years. The annual exhibition clash has been held at Daytona International Speedway since 1979, but it will shift to Los Angeles next year. The invite-only race was always the kickoff to competitive NASCAR racing and held the week before the season-opening Daytona 500. Only time in my life that I have lost my mind on a bus driver was outside L.A. Memorial Coliseum. Were you with me?
No.
I was hosting a sports tour, and I had 60 people with me. 55, whatever the bus held. And the bus driver drops us off at one corner of L.A. Memorial Coliseum. Let's say the northwest corner. He's like, I'll see y'all here, right here, after the game. Some of our people had a little age on them, you know what I mean? Like they weren't that mobile. We're there after the game, no bus. He was at the southeast corner. Had to trek everybody around. He's like, well, I didn't know where to park. I didn't know this is the first year the Rams have been back. I'm like, the stadium's been here for over 100 years. How could you not know where bus parking is?
Right.
And I was only mad on behalf of the people that I was hosting. I'm not normally that guy. But that's what I think of every time I see the Los Angeles Memorial County Coliseum. Viewer takeover when we come back. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network. Live streaming daily on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back. Some interesting stuff going on. How are you doing, Moose? Plug your mic in there, man.
I'm great.
You got so much stuff going on over there. How are things in your neck of the woods?
They're good. Always busy. But we're good.
I said it's viewer takeover, and Allie in Edmonton writes in. She says, "Morning RP Show. Belated congrats to Darren from Kevin and I for his award. Definitely well deserved. Have a great day." Do you want to hold that up again?
Thank you. I didn't get the gloves.
The Paragon Award. I think that's the camera you want to hold it up to there. Or that one there.
I knew they were going to move it.
Young Entrepreneur of the Year. What's the cutoff line on that?
Thank you.
For age, do you know?
This is the last year I was eligible.
Is that right, huh?
So I'll never be beaten, I guess, because I'm not eligible next year. It's under 35.
Next year you're swinging with the big boys, I guess.
Oh, boy. I guess.
You're going into the Shark Tank.
I guess.
We were sitting there watching the Banjo Bowl the other day, and he's getting antsy. He's like, I got to get moving. I'm a shark. Sharks don't sit still.
If
like, would you just hang on? We still got some jalapeno poppers here to finish and some ribs.
Oh, so good.
Right? It was good. Ray watching in the 6, Kitchener, Ontario area. Morning squad. Random thought. How embarrassing are the Baltimore Orioles? Great Monday night football game. Have a good day. Couple randos from Ray in Kitchener, Ontario. I just came across that bunny hug that he sent the other day. I love the Kitchener Rangers bunny hug he sent us.
Oh, yeah.
You had the pullover.
I got the jacket.
Yeah. I'm going to be busting that thing out. But, I mean, that is thermal to minus 60. Can't wear it in here, it'll die.
That's right.
So I got to wait till the snow flies. I got a lot of gear to bust out once the snow flies. When I said we get a lot of things going on, I went to betregal.net. And listen, if you sign up for the free sportsbook, which I have, you don't have to lay any money down, which is probably a safer thing for me and you. And you get 1,000 Bet Regal points per month to play, just to have fun. What else could you want?
That's perfect.
And I was talking to, can I say, a football guy yesterday. He's not in the league right now, but he's betting on games. And he says, you got to get your bets in now, man, because these lines are a little off. For instance, Banjo Bowl. Bombers favored by 1.5, and they won by 20. I'm so bad at 24 points. What's 33 minus 9? You're the math guy.
33 minus 9? 24?
Yeah. Okay, so they won by 24. The line was 1 point.
Yeah.
So he won some cool cash. And he goes, I bet you Bet Regal doesn't care. They just want me to sign up. I'm like, bingo. Right?
That's right.
So they haven't set the lines yet for this week's games. That's what I went to look. BetRegal.net. Sign up today for the free sportsbook. Coming up next hour, we've got Brendan Batchelor, the voice of the Vancouver Canucks. The first hour has been brought to you by World Rugby Sevens in Edmonton, coming up in late September. See you after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Pedersen, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pride. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Now,
you all didn't know the old me, that for 40 years, Darren, I was a kamikaze. The fact that I'm alive is a miracle.
How about that?
I've ridden steers, jumped off cliffs, been shot and been shot at, and I survived it all.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Wow.
Hey!
Wow.
Go to our Instagram, everybody. Go now. Go now.
I'm going right now.
At the Rod Pedersen Show. Morgan's here. Morgan's in town, and she is modeling some of the gear that I'm not sure is available in stores. Isn't that special?
Yeah, you can't buy. Oh, the gear, yeah.
But the one that she's wearing.
But it will be.
Yeah. Oh, will it? Okay, it says Sweatpants Capital on it, and it's so great. So if you go to our Instagram right now, or I could send it to you, Clark, and maybe we could put it up on the screen for everybody to see. But this is hour 2 of the program, brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. And tomorrow, I'll be wearing this wonderful golf shirt sent to us by Core Grain. It's the right fit.
Okay, I won't wear mine then.
Why not? We're a team.
Want to wear them? Okay, we'll wear them together.
I was gonna put it on here for hour 2, but I'm wearing my God's Team golf shirt today. The Regina Pats Hockey Club, the oldest junior hockey team in the world, and I'm not taking that off So tomorrow I'll wear for Core Grain the whole hour. Okay?
Good idea.
Coming up this hour, a late ad. The voice of the Vancouver Canucks, Brendan Batchelor, will join us from Sportsnet 650 Radio in Vancouver. I want to say hey to all of our viewers out there in British Columbia. We got a lot of plans on the go, if you haven't noticed. And I dropped the bomb last hour that I'm heading to Florida this weekend for a spell. Going to be going to some Dolphins games, particularly this Sunday's Bills-Dolphins game, and then Florida Panthers games. Been accredited there. for the season.
And doing the show.
And I'm going to be doing the show. Yeah. You're not getting rid of me that easily.
And I'm not going.
No, but I was getting to that.
Single tier.
So we're going to another locale in Alberta next month. Is that confirmed? Do you want me to stop talking?
Well, no, go, because if we say we're going, we're going.
Yeah, but you're with me on that trip.
Oh, I'm with you on that one, for
That's
sure.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're going to Edmonton for the Oilers home opener, and that's going to be great.
Oh, I can also...
Yeah, whatever you want. It's your show.
Do you want to do the next one, too? December?
I was getting to that. So when I said the voice of the Canucks, Brendan Batchelor, is coming on, and hello to our BC viewers, and we're coming out your way, that was the long road that I was getting to, Moose, but you just put it in high gear. You went off-roading, right?
I don't usually do that.
No, but you did there. Well, you're so geeked up because this is your roadie.
I guess.
Tell them, because we've got viewers that aren't on Instagram and they want to see this photo of Morgan and what she's up to. So
Trinity Western University is bringing us out, the show out there. You may or may not be there because you may or may not be somewhere else.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but flights are booked. Going to be in the Vancouver, Langley area early December for a few shows. And I'll be there. Check out the Spartans and the Giants as well, the Vancouver Giants. Check them out. The Canucks play as well. So we're going to do the Vancouver trip, too, very early December. So we'll connect with everybody on the coast.
The photo is on the way. I sent it to Ryan's account, by the way, Clark, just so you know, as those guys like me to do. And it's Morgan in front of the big splashy backdrop. This place is just growing and expanding, and it's exploding. But enough about that. The General in Calgary says, LOL, you two are cute together, like a married couple. I've got that before. I've got that. Well, you should want to get along with your partner as well as this, wouldn't you? You want to go to work and have fun with the people that you work with.
Of course, yeah.
You just got highly uncomfortable.
No, I'm good. I'm very comfortable.
Jennifer at the Four Seasons Sports Palace writes in. She says, yes, please, I don't have Instagram. Well, get Instagram. Anyways, back to the topics at hand, although I'm having fun with all of these. It's a day game today, the Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays, 3:07 Eastern, 1:07 p.m. Mountain, where we reside. Blue Jays, Rays. Tampa won last night 2-0. The Blue Jays spanked them 8-1 on Monday. Today's the rubber match. And I guess today we find out who the real Blue Jays are, because 8-1, they're bombing. More home runs. Vladdy hit his 45th. Alek Manoah goes into the 8th inning, which reminds me, Ray in the 6th, if you remember earlier this year, remember when Alek Manoah made his first start? It was at Yankee Stadium, and he wrote in and he said, do you think the kid's ready? When are we going to find out if he's ready if you don't throw him out there?
That's right.
Like I started in this business really, 16. They threw me into the deep end. You either swim or you sink. I'm a big fan of throwing people into the deep end. And they threw him into the deep. Yankee Stadium first start, and he won. And he's just got better all year long. So that was Monday, 8-1. And then last night, the Rays completely silenced the Blue Jays bats. It was only the third time all year the Blue Jays have been shut out, 2-0. And afterwards, Mike Zunino of the Rays said that was a playoff game. And it's like, these guys know big boy baseball. They swept the Blue Jays last year in the playoffs. It wasn't even in the division series. It wasn't even a thing. So we're going to find out today if the Blue Jays are serious. And Robbie Ray starts.
That's good.
Here's the photo. We got it. This is Morgan. She is the brains behind this entire outfit. So that's out in the lobby. And that's the sweatpants capital. I just thought it was so cute. She showed up in that today. I'm like, you ordered me a pair of sweats that say that, but they weren't big enough. So I gave them to Lynch. They weren't long enough. So I gave them to Lynch.
Yeah.
Today's been a little quieter of a day sports-wise, other than the New Orleans Saints coming out and saying 8 members of their staff have COVID. The gentleman in Victoria stopped talking after that when he goes, COVID's over in the NFL. It's not over for anybody, bro. I'm trying to remember what Labardia said yesterday when I asked him if life had changed for the broadcasters. Do you remember what he said? Feels like not much has changed.
No, it doesn't feel like a lot, but he's hoping they can travel. He's hoping they'll be able to travel this year with the group, I'm pretty sure, because last year, Pete's a hockey guy, loves it to his core, right? He doesn't want to be in a studio watching a game on a monitor and calling it. He wants to be there and feel the atmosphere and the crowd, and connect with the athletes, the players, and the coaches, and he's good at it. So I'm hoping that it's wide open for the broadcasters.
Well, honestly, it's why I got into this business. I loved calling the games, but I wanted to be around the guys. I wanted to be on the bus. I wanted to be in the venue. If you're not allowed to do that, what fun is it? Calling a game off a monitor? I'm lucky to have done it when I did.
Yeah.
The poll today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is, which is Canada's game of the week in Week 7 of the Canadian Football League? And I'm a little surprised. Leading on both Facebook and Twitter is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the Edmonton Elks on Saturday night. I got to say, I'm quite surprised by that, and here's why. Say what? Sorry, Clark's talking to me here. Okay, thank you. Toronto at Sask has taken over with 43% of the vote. On Twitter, Winnipeg at Edmonton continues to lead with 42%. And it's because why I was surprised with the results is that Toronto, biggest market, versus Saskatchewan, most rabid market historically, you would think they would be leading. Does that Winnipeg-Edmonton game have a bigger impact on the standings, per se? Because it's all West Division? What is so sexy about the Blue Bombers and the Elks, do you think, to everybody?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, if Edmonton had completed the sweep, the Labor Day back-to-back over Calgary, I would say that might be the game of the week because of the intrigue, right? Is Edmonton back on track? Are they better than what they started and what they showed? Really galvanized by the outbreak and everything else and coming together as a team. But they lost the back end of that and didn't look all that great. I think it's just we've connected with a lot of people in Winnipeg. I think that's the biggest thing that stands out to me is how much that market is paying attention. And now they're starting to hit the vote button, which is great.
Who the heck was I on the phone with? I was talking to a lot of guys in the last 24 hours now that I think about it. But they're like, what is the deal with Winnipeg? And I said, they've been nicer to us than anybody else. The Jets, the Bombers, the city themselves. I don't know what it is. I think it's because TSN put a bullet in Winnipeg's all-sports radio station, and there was a huge hole there.
Yeah.
Right? And they were looking for something in the daytime that scratched their itch, and they found us, and we couldn't be happier. Speaking of addiction, it destroys relationships, families, and lives. But the good news is addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of beautiful Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center, recovery for life. Visit their website, aurorarecoverycenter.com. I've been there. I can attest. I love the place. I love the people. I went to betregal.net, and unless you can find it, Clark or Moose, I don't think they've posted the odds yet for this week's CFL games. And here's my homework. We've been having Zoom calls every week with the people from Bet Regal, our official betting partner, and those of the CFL. Here's your homework, Rod. Learn how to bet. Well, that's fun. This is my job.
I know.
That's a lot of fun. It's 11-11-11.
I just saw it.
Spicy.
Take a drink of coffee.
Make a wish. And be very clear of what you're thinking about. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, we're preparing to give Rod and Dupes the key to the city. Just kidding. Well, not yet. Hey, we'll take it. But there's a few trips on the way. Oh, they got the odds. They got the odds. Are you ready? Moose?
Yes.
Calgary Stampeders at the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It is the rematch of the 2014 Grey Cup. And we all remember how that ended. Hamilton favored by 2.5. What are you taking? I'm taking the bet.
You're taking Hamilton?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to take the Stamps.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
The Toronto Argonauts at the Saskatchewan Roughriders on Friday night, second game of a doubleheader. Saskatchewan favored by 3.5. I'm taking the Argos to beat the spread.
I do not know.
You want some time?
I'll take the Riders just to be opposite of you. But
Okay.
I literally don't know.
Riders don't know who their quarterback's going to be. They're somewhat in disarray. They're concerned.
Yeah.
I think about the Argos defense. Why wouldn't they be? They don't know who the defensive coordinator is going to be coming into this one. Is Chris Jones, although he's not going to be there, going to be preparing their defensive game plan? They don't know.
It's hard not to.
So you're taking the Riders. I got the Argos.
Sure.
Okay. BC Lions at the Montreal Alouettes. Alouettes favored by 4, and I'm taking that bet. I think Andre Bolduc will win a CFL debut. I think they'll rally together with the absence of Kari Jones. Long way for the BC Lions to travel to. I got Montreal by 4.
Perfect. I'll take BC.
Look at you.
I like Mike Riley right now.
Is anybody writing this down?
He's rolling.
I think he's got 3 players of the week out of 4 weeks in the CFL.
I know.
Well, he's the highest paid player in the league for a reason. And then, the road favorites, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the Edmonton Elks Saturday night. Canada's game of the week. Bombers favored by 4 on the road at Edmonton. I'm going to take Edmonton to beat the spread.
Woo! I'm taking Winnipeg. How about that?
Bob's your uncle.
How about that? Bob's your uncle.
Corey Hill watching on YouTube. Just taking a major off-ramp. Would the Ottawa Senators make the playoffs this year, and how much should Ottawa sign Brady Tkachuk for? Like, right off the board, which I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Ottawa's not making the playoffs this year. It kills me to say that, despite what Mark Mathot says. Actually, I think he said within 3 years, Ottawa will be a better team than the Leafs, right? I think that's what he said, the former Sens defenseman.
Yeah.
They're going to sign Brady to 8x8. And I think that's fine. Brady Tkachuk's at least done something in this league. I'm surprised at the Kirill Kaprizov comments that I made yesterday, how much support there was from hockey people. Did you see that writing into our Instagram?
Yeah.
This guy's a joke. This situation's a joke. $9 million. What honestly makes him think that he's worth more than that? Bill Guerin is the general manager of the Wild, has offered short-term, mid-range term, and long-term deals, all at $9 million a year. Nobody in Minnesota has ever been paid more than that, and they've had some great players go through there. And he's still not going to report for camp. That's what they say.
That's crazy.
I did not. Where's the comment from the guy about us filling the void? Dan, the Jets fan. Where the heck is it? Dan. Oh, here it is. I love the show. Of course, my computer. Oh, it is? Love the show. Sure filled the void of TSN 1290. We knew that there was a void for daytime sports talk, not only in this market, but across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even across the continent. That's what we're seeing. It still blows my mind that over 50% of our viewers are American, but whatever. They seem to like what we're doing. What else you got, Moose, before we break? Because I'm not going to see you for a while.
Yeah, you're not, hey?
For 20 minutes.
On the Ottawa Senators thing.
Yeah.
Brady Tkachuk, really good piece. I like what they've done with the young core that they've started to assemble. If goaltending can play well, Matt Murray, they might sneak in. But I think the year after and the year after that, like Mark Mathot mentioned, they're going to start trending upwards if they can keep this young core together. Ottawa's, they're a ways away, but they got the right pieces in place, I think.
Well, like we say about them extending their general manager, Pierre Dorian, if you haven't fired him yet, why would you fire him now? The rebuild's just finally coming together, and this is a good young team. But they're in a black and blue division, potentially the toughest division in the NHL. I think it might be, actually.
Yeah.
Bruins, Leafs, Habs. That's the Atlantic Division, right? That is a very difficult division.
Extremely tough.
We'll be going to the West Coast when we come back with the voice of the Vancouver Canucks. Ho, ho, ho. Brendan Batchelor. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the RP Show. In moments, the voice of the Vancouver Canucks, Brendan Batchelor. We're just, for some reason, the topic of this program come up. And our viewership in Winnipeg especially, but James in Border, Manitoba says the day after 1290 was canceled was the day I found the RP Show. So Manitoba viewer there. From the General in Calgary, he says, you're better than most of the Calgary sports talk radio shows.
How about that?
I appreciate that, and we did have a lot of great times out in Alberta last week. 6 days out there. Genghis T. Smith watching. Genghis is in Detroit. He says, live sports talk shows could be the next big thing, like your show. Keep up the good work, guys. Yeah, I guess. Are you talking about live streaming shows? Because there's been live sports talk shows around for 30 years or more. Yeah, and Corey Hill, by the way, has a lot of NHL questions. Corey, watching on YouTube, says, if Jack Eichel gets traded, not saying he is, which team could he go to? I will get into that with our next guest in a moment. Brendan Batchelor joining us from Sportsnet 650 from the West Coast. Good friend of the program. Great guy. How you doing, Batch?
Good to see you. How are you?
It's been far too long. Very well. You're set up and sounding very clear. Seems to me like you've been doing a lot of home interviews. Would I be correct in the last little while?
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly last season, especially because we weren't on the road with the hockey team. So most of the interviews we did were over Zoom or remotely. So we've been hosting shows and doing all sorts of things from home. All of our show hosts have it at 650 as well. So we're getting used to it, I guess, now.
Yeah, wonderful technology here in 2020, 2021 for sure has made things a lot easier. So we're on the cusp of the season. I can't tell me what they're going through in BC because the Canucks are BC's team, not just Vancouver's. Optimistic, even pessimistic, how are they feeling? Because I was thinking about this morning, Batch. Every team 0-0 tied right now. So what's the sense out there for their team going into camp?
Well, it's probably all of the above that you were mentioning, depending on who you talk to. There's people in Vancouver that are very optimistic with the changes that Jim Benning made to this hockey club in the offseason, most notably, of course, the trade bringing in Connor Garland and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. There are pessimists that believe that Ekman-Larsson's best days are behind him and that the $7+ million that he's going to cost the Canucks against the salary cap over the next few years is going to be more of a negative than a positive. But in general, the sense of things that I get is that people are excited for the hockey season to be back, excited to potentially be back in attendance at games at Rogers Arena here in Vancouver, and cautiously optimistic that this is a Canucks team that can put that dreadful season from last year behind them and get back into the playoff picture in the Pacific Division.
Well, Batch, you called those games. You had a summer to mull it over, and I'm sure you spent a lot of time thinking about what went wrong for the Canucks. Did you put your finger on anything? I'm sure you're tired of talking about it, but you know what was it, do you think, that caused them to miss the playoffs with that talented lineup?
Well, when you look at last season, it's more about, not saying what went wrong, but what went right. And the answer to that question is not much. They had the largest COVID outbreak in the NHL. Elias Pedersen, their top player, missed more than half of the season with an injury and struggled out of the gate to start the year as well. They had lost a couple of key veterans from the offseason before, guys like Chris Tanev and Jacob Markstrom that ended up in Calgary that I think probably, threw off a bit of the chemistry in the room as well. And just all of those things came together to combine for a dreadful season for the Canucks that concluded in them playing regular season games against the Flames that meant nothing except positioning for the standings after the playoffs had already begun. So I think both for the players, for the organization, for fans, and for those of us that covered it as well, it's a season we want to put behind us and hopefully move on to better things this year.
So, and thank you for that and for looking ahead now. With OEL there, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, a perennial all-star in Arizona. Mm-hmm. I've watched him a ton of times with the Coyotes, and I don't think that his best years are behind him. And you've seen him play enough, tremendous player. The one thing a lot of the analysts have said on this show from Vancouver is that the blue line, if there was a weak area, is that. How much can he shore up on his own from there? What's been done to address that blue line of the Canucks, if that is in fact an Achilles heel, if there is one?
Yeah, I would say that Oliver Ekman-Larsson is probably, if I had to pick one player that could be a make or break player for the Canucks season this year, it's him, because they've brought him in to help solidify the top four on the blue line. Alex Edler has moved on after his entire career spent in Vancouver. And even though he was an aging player, he brought a certain bottom line defensively that they're not going to have anymore. They moved away from Nate Schmidt in the offseason as well. And Edler and Schmidt defensively were one of their better pairings last year, even though it was a season where the Canucks were horrid defensively most of the time. So Ekman-Larsson coming in, if he can regain some of his former form that we saw from him a few years ago. His game has declined over the last few years, and part of that could be the situation in Arizona, and certainly that's what Canuck fans are hoping, is that he's going to come to Vancouver renewed and refreshed and ready to contribute to a team that wants to make a playoff push. But as far as Ekman-Larsson goes, if he can come in and play well, then the Canucks will do well and their blue line will improve. If he continues to struggle, as we've seen in Arizona over the last couple of years, then it's going to be a struggle for the Canucks to keep puck out of their net. Thatcher Demko is something that you're not worried about. He's turned himself into a legitimate starting goaltender in the NHL. The Canucks forward group through the top 9 especially, is as deep as I've seen it in my time doing this job, now 5 years on the job with the Canucks. So they will be able to score, and they've got goaltending, but it's their defensive core that, will make or break how well they do this year, and Ekman-Larsson is the biggest part of that.
You mentioned crowds. And playing before them. What's the deal for the Canucks with the COVID environment here? Are they full capacity? What's the word?
That seems to be a matter of debate to this point. I think it's probably going to be 50% capacity. And then here in British Columbia now, you will have to prove that you've been vaccinated to attend games, and you have to wear masks indoors as we speak right now in public spaces as well. So only fully vaccinated people at the games, all wearing masks. And you would hope that with those sorts of restrictions, the capacity could be increased to close to 100%, if not 100%, but I would expect 50% to start the season at Rogers Arena anyway.
Myself and our viewers have kind of circled in on 2 main storylines for this season in the NHL. One's the Seattle Kraken. 2 is Jack Eichel. So let's start with the Kraken and what your expectations might be for them, Batch, and how much are people talking about the rivalry already out there?
Yeah, people are excited for that. The first preseason game is, just a couple of weeks away. The Canucks and the Kraken for Seattle's first game ever as a team in the NHL. As far as how the Kraken will do, I like the fact that they bring in Philip Grubauer between the pipes. They've got a solid defensive core. My thoughts on them are more, or how are they going to score goals? Because they don't have the forward depth that you would expect. And I expect that will be their issue this year, is they're going to be defensively sound. They've got good goaltending, but they may not be able to get timely scoring with the forward group they've got. But that said, many people were counting Vegas out before the start of their first year, and we all know how that ended. So I'll be interested to see how the Kraken do. And I think right now in BC anyway, there's a sense of excitement about the rivalry. That excitement may shift very quickly if the Kraken, beat the Canucks in their first regular season meeting, which is just a couple of weeks into the season.
And what a shame the border situation is what it is, where you could have had fans going back and forth, Batch. And it will happen eventually, I think. But do you have any neutral site games? Are you going to Penticton for a rookie tournament like usual? What's the deal on the preseason for the Canucks?
Yeah, no rookie tournament this year. That neutral site game that I mentioned, or the Seattle-Vancouver game that I mentioned, rather, is at a neutral site in Spokane, Washington. Nice. So that's not one that Canuck fans will be able to get to, but, the good Spokane Chiefs fans in the WHL are going to get an NHL preseason game. And then the Canucks are playing in Abbotsford, having one game there because, of course, they have their new AHL affiliate that's been relocated from Utica to Abbotsford, so just down the highway in the Fraser Valley from Vancouver. So they're going to play a preseason game out in the Valley. And other than that, they're in NHL buildings the rest of the way.
We had Peter Labardis on yesterday. Can't remember what he said about travel this year for the broadcasters. Will you be in Spoke, or what's the deal, Batch? What do you know about your travel this year?
It's to be determined still. So I think the powers that be are waiting to see what the COVID situation is right down to the wire. So obviously we're cautiously optimistic that we're going to be back on the road and back in arenas calling games, but that remains to be seen right now.
Amazing with training camp. You're basically on the eve of it, right? But I get it. I feel sorry for these leaders in sports trying to come up with the answers to this. Jack Eichel. What's the buzz? What do you hear? Is he going to be playing in Buffalo this year or not, Brendan?
Yeah, it's one of those stories that, even you talk to guys like Elliot Friedman and people that are, much more tapped into these sorts of stories than I am, certainly, and they don't even have a feel for where it's going right now. It seems like it's all quiet. There was a lot of talk about maybe he ends up in Calgary, but then we saw the Flames commit some salary cap money to some signings here in the last few days, which, could indicate that they're out of that mix. So, to be honest, I don't have a great idea on what's going to happen with Jack Eichel. You would have thought that by this point, the Sabres would have wanted to get this deal done and not have it be a storyline about is he going to report to training camp or not. But that said, training camp is coming very quickly here, and there's still no answer. So I'll be interested, just like all your viewers, I'm sure, to see how it plays out here in the next few weeks.
From Rocco, our technical producer, has a question for you. He says, when can we expect Pedersen and Hughes to get a final contract offer? What's popping there, Batch?
Yeah, so both of them are restricted free agents, and both of them remain unsigned as of this point. Training camp starts on September the 22nd for the Canucks, so they're getting down to the wire here. But historically, we've seen the Canucks use training camp and the start of the season as a pressure point to get these deals done. Brock Besser missed the first couple of days of training camp in 2019 before he got his contract done. Bo Horvat signed his contract just a couple of days before training camp. So, looking at how the Canucks have negotiated these deals in the past, I wouldn't be concerned about Pedersen and Hughes just yet, because it seems like they like to leave it to the last minute or use that start of the season as a pressure point to negotiate and get these deals done. I would be more concerned if we're getting into the preseason or close to the regular season and these guys are missing games, but I honestly don't expect that to happen. I think they'll have that contract for both Hughes and Pedersen tied up in the next couple of weeks.
And I always ask you this, if you remember near the end of our interviews, you are Vancouver Giants alum, proud Dub guy, gone to the National Hockey League, carrying the banner, I feel, for a lot of Western League broadcasters. How much you've fallen what the Giants are doing, and your thoughts on the fact that for October anyways, they're not going to be able to go into the States.
Yeah, I've heard some good things coming out of training camp about the group they've assembled. They've got a couple of Swedish import players that are going to come in and hopefully have good years for them. One of them, potentially could play for them this year, was taken high in the draft by the Bruins. So that's exciting for the fans here. And, much like, we talk about with the Canucks, I'm sure there are many Giants fans that are just excited to get back into the Langley Event Center and watch the team in person. And, that border issue is going to be something that will really affect junior hockey much more than the NHL, because we know the teams are going to be able to fly back and forth across the border. But for the Western Hockey League or even the BCHL, because they have the Wenatchee Wild that play in that league, there's going to be issues. And, in terms of Wenatchee, I understand that they are coming up to Canada because it's much easier to come across the border that way, and are starting the season with like a month-long road trip north of the border in BC, because they're the only American team in the league. So if they were down there, they wouldn't have anyone to play. And I guess both the leaders in the BCHL and the WHL are hoping that we get some, clarity on the border sooner rather than later, so it doesn't throw a wrench into their seasons down the line.
I knew you'd be on top of it. Brendan, as always, this has been fun, man. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
The voice of the Vancouver Canucks, Brendan Batchelor from Sportsnet 650 Radio. What's that comment from Todd Pinckney, one of our P1s here? Is that face palm emoji? Do you want to put it up on the screen? Here we are this far into COVID and we're still dealing with this. I can't believe it. You and me both, right? We'll see if Moose is ready to come back. The award-winning Darren Moose DuPont. Do you want to put a camera on his award? His award's here. He's not. Maybe we'll talk to that stuffed moose when we come back. And that's Ricky the Iguana, by the way, on our mascot, Ricky the Iguana. We'll talk a little bit about what's ahead for this show. I'm very excited about it. We let it out of the bag earlier, but we can do it again for those that missed it. Hour 2 of the show is brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. Got a sports update coming up, too. If you want to talk to me, it's just me right now. Write us on the Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777. That is 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. We'll be right back. You are watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone! We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 of the show brought to you by Core Grain. As you see, thanks for joining us live here on Game Plus TV, YouTube or Facebook Live, or maybe you're listening later on the podcast, which over 90% of our viewers and listeners do, believe it or not. DG in Saskatoon writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, "Morning, guys. A bittersweet happy trails going out to noted Canadian sports fan Norm MacDonald, well known for his support of the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Rough Riders, Renegades, and Red Blacks. Go Jays. I wonder how many Canadian baseball fans we see in Minnesota this weekend." That's from DG in Saskatoon. And from Metal Shingle Guy regarding Canada's Game of the Week, as voted by you, the viewers, Winnipeg Blue Bombers at Edmonton Elks. Metal Shingle Guy writes in and he says they play 3 in their next 4 against each other. Bombers could cruise and get caught in a trap game. Could happen. There are those that think that maybe the Blue Bombers, the 5-1 Blue Bombers, could be getting all fat and sassy going in there to Edmonton on Saturday night and get tripped up. I don't think Mike O'Shea will let that happen. Your thoughts, Moose, on that?
Yeah, I don't think so either, but that's definitely a concern, especially when you're as good as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are, right? Eventually, you fall into a bit of a trap game. This might be it, but I don't think so. I really don't. You know, they know what it takes to win, and to win a Grey Cup. And so I think Mike O'Shea will have them focused.
Winnipeg favored by 4 in Canada's Game of the Week at Edmonton. Look, I could delve into the sports update, and I'm going to, but the viewers are dishing on delicious things. And Jordan Smervold is watching on YouTube, which incidentally, what's our viewership up like 150 or 200% on YouTube?
230.
Yeah, it's smashing. So thank you, everybody. How about that? He says, hey, which Canadian NHL team do you think is most likely to have a new GM next season? And I'm like, okay, you obviously weren't watching earlier, or maybe you were when Brendan Batchelor was on. Moose wasn't because he was out doing business stuff with Morgan, who's in town for business stuff.
That's right.
I have my thoughts on who the first GM to be replaced is in Canada and the NHL. I'm not sure today I want to say it because we're sitting here on September the what? 15th?
Yeah.
Everybody's tied for first place. I'm not sure right now I want to go down that road. And if you've been paying very careful attention over the last couple of months, or actually 6-7 months, you probably have a pretty good idea who I think that will be. But I just don't want to say it because as if I've learned, all the NHL teams are watching. Believe me, they are. So if somebody goes out and craps the bed by what? U.S. Thanksgiving, I'll be more than happy to give my thoughts on that. So I don't want to do it right now just because they're all watching and is that too much of a pussy way out?
Spicy.
Maybe. Like, I want to frame it more which general managers are on the hot seat. And there are a few.
That's a good one.
There are a few on the hot seat.
Well, it ain't Bergevin.
No,
it's not Pierre Dorian. He just got a new contract. It's not Ken Holland. Now we're down to 4.
I don't think it's Holland. I don't think Dubas is on the hot seat. I think they're pretty much digging their heels in the sand, right? No matter what. So you look at the others. Kevin Cheveldayoff.
He's not.
In Winnipeg.
Believe me, he's not.
But he's probably at the bottom of that list.
Well,
right?
Now we're down to 3.
Right? And I think you got to look at Jim Benning, Brad Treliving, right, as being probably the 2 on the hot seat because they've established pretty good rosters on paper. They've got some talent in those rosters. And they've committed to them. So if those teams don't perform, then what they committed to obviously wasn't the right group of players, and now you need somebody else to come in and fix it. But those 2 teams have the potential to be good.
Jordan's one of those guys, like most, who asked us, but really wanted to give his own opinion, and that's fine.
Oh, you noticed.
He says Benning, Tree, and he writes dumbass. I think we know who he means with that. He's saying Toronto, Calgary, Vancouver.
Spicy.
I think it's good that you've got me here to balance you off because you're like all Leaf fans, and that is living in a fantasy world if you don't think Kyle Dubas is on the hot seat. Come on, man.
No, and it's not me saying that.
They already fired a coach.
Right, but it's not me saying that Kyle Dubas is a bad GM or a great GM. Somebody saying, oh, he's too good to be fired. I think the pride in that organization to be right about it, I think they've kind of dug in, and they're like, I don't think he'll get fired this year, no matter how bad they do. Ooh. I think it's a pride thing. I don't think it's how good he is type of thing.
I'm not arguing with you, but it's like every other team in the Atlantic Division is like, good. Because as long as they continue to fall on their face, we'll be fine.
That's right.
Let's keep Dubas in there because we see what's happening. That's just my read on that.
Yeah.
Let me do the sports update. The Blue Jays will be looking to rebound in the rubber match of their 3-game series against the Rays today at Rogers Center. They fell 2-0 to Tampa Tuesday to fall back into a tie with the Yankees and Red Sox in the race for the American League's 2 wildcard spots. Robbie Ray slated to start for Toronto, 3:07 Eastern first pitch. It's a day game. Don't miss it. New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton said today that a group of his offensive coaches, along with the team's nutritionist and a player, have tested positive for COVID-19. Payton didn't identify by name any of those who had tested positive, but he later indicated that those missing from in-person preparations included an offensive line coach, a receivers coach, a running backs coach, and 2 tight end coaches. Payton said all are vaccinated. How about that?
How many of those do you have?
Hey.
How many quarterbacks coaches do you have?
1.
How many receivers coaches? How many nutritionists? Right?
The Buffalo Bills have joined the Las Vegas Raiders as the only NFL teams to require proof of vaccination against COVID-19 for all fans over the age of 12. The rules will be the same for Buffalo Sabres games when the NHL season gets underway next month. Unvaccinated fans were allowed to attend the Bills' first home game on Sunday, but were supposed to wear masks. Many fans say they saw little enforcement. County officials say the policy shift was a joint decision between the county and team's owners. There's also no option to gain entry with a negative virus test. Unvaccinated fans is allowed by the Saints and Seahawks. CF Montreal will be looking to get back on track tonight at Orlando City SC in one of 8 MLS games on the schedule. Montreal had its 7-game home unbeaten streak snapped Sunday in a loss to Nashville SC. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Training camps are open. We get all the Dub coverage at dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, fitness coach certified, now with 8 amazing flavors, including my favorite, almond coconut. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Can I tell you how excited I am to be going to the Dolphins and the Bills on Sunday? Fully vaccinated, ready to roll. Fins up. They're becoming my team.
I'm excited for you.
Overtime is next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital GMC is here to help. Check out our selection of new and certified pre-owned, online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with one of our product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. And our factory-trained technicians are standing by for service or inspection on any make or model. It's time to get back to busy with Capital GMC in Regina.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Rod and the Moose is here. And here we go. It's overtime. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. And I know that a lot of our viewers joke, and particularly those at the Four Seasons, because the owner there, the Greek freak, George Yanitsos, dyed-in-the-wool Leafs fans, and there are many of those. And he flirted with the notion of switching his allegiances to the Seattle Kraken because of the Leafs faceplant against the Montreal Canadiens. What were they up, Boost? Remind me, 3-1 in that series?
Stop it.
Can't remember. You guys are over.
Post-game trash talk, what did I tell you?
Well, I don't care. Literally do not care.
I know you don't.
This reminds me, I don't know why this reminds me of this, but how about this? Got an email here from the Arizona Coyotes. Was it this morning? El Paso, Texas, winner of Kraft Hockeyville USA, will host the Arizona Coyotes and Dallas Stars for an NHL preseason game on Sunday, October 3rd at the El Paso County Event Center. Announced by Kraft Heinz, the NHL, and the NHL Players Association. El Paso, which earned its designation as 2020's most spirited hockey community in America after amassing the most votes in the online Kraft Hockeyville USA contest, also won $150,000 in rink upgrades from Kraft Heinz and $10,000 worth of new equipment from the NHL Players Association Goals and Dreams Fund. The game was not hosted in 2020 due to COVID-19. So because of that, go out there and buy more Kraft dinner and more ketchup and support Kraft. El Paso, Texas. How about that?
That is awesome. Awesome. Good for them. And when you say that, the El Paso, Texas County Event Center?
Yeah.
Sounds like a rodeo spot.
I'm sure it is.
Sounds like where we watched Cody Snyder's bull busting, like a little outdoor spot.
Oh, yeah.
But that will be awesome for those fans, and they love their hockey in Texas.
I want to say a buddy, but I can't necessarily remember his last name. Somebody remind me. Used to be the voice of the Seattle or the Everett Silvertips, and I believe his name was Joe Diamond.
Real name?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Wasn't it Joe Diamond? He was the voice of the El Paso Rhinos for a spell. And, it's Joe Diamond, I think. No, Joe Domini. And at times went by the name Joe Diamond. Why wouldn't you? Why not, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Speaking of diamonds, have you ever heard back from that gentleman's club in Alberta that wanted to sponsor the show?
No, I have not.
Why don't you get our sales manager, Jimmy Two Tables, on that? He can do a little investigative business on that.
We are going to Edmonton in October.
Live show for the gentleman's club. That would be a first.
Yeah, it would be a first.
Well, for us, but probably for anybody.
That would be a first.
Bum, 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 bum. It's like ballers. We had time, but we forgot. You wanted to mention last week the DJ at Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' event at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on the Tutina First Nation just outside Calgary. I'll give you the floor right now.
I mean, it was the greatest soundtrack of all time. I mean, I'm trying to remember some of the songs. Your memory's a little bit better than mine.
All of them turned down for what? Well, you name it. Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins,
Twisted Sister.
We're not gonna take it.
Yeah.
Come on, Feel the Noise.
Yeah. Quiet Riot. Yeah. It was unbelievable. What it reminded me of was being a kid and going to the Wynyard Memorial Arena and watching the Wynyard Monarchs play. I don't know if it was Larry Karkachuk or who was running the music at the time, but it was the best music. It was all that old stuff, and they played the best 15, 20 seconds between face-offs. It wasn't necessarily what was the most current at the time, but it worked. It was great.
We were driving into Winnipeg, and Moose said, because I literally had just discovered Spotify. I'd heard of it, but I never really used it, and then Darren's got me going on it, and he goes, I'd like to own a junior hockey team just to be the DJ. And that was fun. No kidding, right?
Would be the best.
Corey Hill on YouTube says, could you answer 2 of my questions, please? And you were about to answer one of them. What are your questions, dude? What are your questions? I can't remember. We get 1,800 messages coming in here, but I don't know what yours are. Sonny Black's watching on YouTube. He says, Zona would rather have rodeos than hockey in their current NHL arena. Crazy. Do you remember when they announced this ownership and management structure of the Coyotes? Do you remember what I said at the time? Good luck.
That's right.
And they're going to finish dead last in that division, the Central.
It's too bad.
Sean in Vancouver writing us Prairie Mobile text line. Sean in Vancouver. Hey, Roddy and Moose. Can't wait for you guys to get out here in December. Great show today as always. Thank you, Sean. Well, he should, because we had the Canucks talk. Well, he for sure is coming out to Vancouver in December. I will be somewhere else, probably. But we got several. Listen, Corey Hill, we got 2 minutes. Get your questions in. Now, let's go, and I'll answer them. Guy's falling asleep at the switch, Moose. But I could not be more thrilled to tell you that I'll be at the Dolphins and the Bills on Sunday. The Dolphins have called 3 times. My seats are going to be a party.
The people around you will wonder what's going on when dignitaries from the Dolphins are coming down the stairs.
I know.
Like, that's cool.
Corey says, I'm hearing rumors about the Ottawa Senators and Jack Eichel. Anything that true or isn't it? So you're hearing rumors about Jack Eichel. We've heard about Jack Eichel to Calgary. Where else have we heard of 6 landing
Just
spots?
about every team.
It's just rumors, man. Who knows if it's going to happen? What's your other question?
Yeah, if they had the right offer, I mean, for the right price, Jack Eichel is an asset for sure. But some teams don't want to disrupt what they have, fit into the core. Some teams can't fit him into the salary cap. He's not cheap. Still a good player despite, playing on a bad team and wanting out. So Ottawa is a team that could take a chance. I could see it.
Darren Workman in Salt Lake City says, say hello to the Houston Coyotes.
How about
Can't remember what I was listening to yesterday. We listened and watched so much, but somebody said Tillman Fertitta, the owner of the Houston Rockets, has gone on record and said he wants an NHL team for Houston. The plan is underway. Tomorrow, Dan Rashovitz, CFL Hall of Famer in studio, and Jackie Redmond from NHL Network. See you at noon Eastern here on Game Plus. Who has more fun than us?